For those of you not familiar with this ground, to our left is the marina, and behind that, range of hills currently crested with cloud. Weather's been changeable these last few days. Rishabh. New bowler Rishabh, looking to continue the pressure on this opening pair from Montezuri. That just slips past the edge, but nothing on it. Shouts of encouragement from the fielders. Know the importance of this match. All of these teams looking to secure a place in that final, which will be held back at Masongi Beach tomorrow afternoon. And everyone's got their fingers crossed that the weather will hold out to enable that to be played. That's just rocked onto the back foot and dropped it down on his toes on the leg side. The players enjoyed a lovely evening yesterday, traditional song and dance held on by a local primary school. Speeches were made by the president of the Hellenic Cricket Federation, the education minister. Quite a few of the coaches joined in with the traditional dancing, which was an amusing sight. And very kindly were given some examples of local produce, kumquat fruit, which is very kind of those schools involved to provide us with such great hospitality. Not easy conditions to bat this morning. As I've said, some rain in the air, and there's some couple of damp patches on the outfield. Been seeing scores of between about 90 and 120 at this ground, so slightly more than we've been seeing at the Esplanada Square, where they, of course, have to use the rubber ball because of the vicinity of the parked vehicles. So I think, speaking to the coaches, the boys are quite pleased to be able to feel the ball on the bat. More used to that. So Rishabh again, that's been given a wide, is too far outside off stump. Just took a bit of pace off that ball. It's just worked out, but it's found mid-wicket. There's no run. Some big gaps on the leg side here. No one on the square leg boundary. Long leg. But the rest of the fielders are up, so if the bowler strays on line at all, the batsmen have got a large area to hit into. And that's just played out to mid-off, no run. And that's the end of the over from Rishabh. So quite an attacking field, just the third men and fine leg out, and we still have a slip in and we have a gully in too. That's a wide. Picturesque ground this, with the sea to our left and the range of mountains. That's just left outside off stump, but given a wide again, so these extras total is mounting. One of the features of this ground is a couple of old caravans parked by the side screen. Not sure that's the quarters for the groundsman. That's nicely played off the front foot, out towards cover. No run there. Lots of encouragement for the field as a Jane team. Looking to make a breakthrough. It's no ball. I think you can see us on screen now in the commentary position. It's nicely played, but straight to mid-on. Good technique. So still a slip and gully in place. He's had a flash at that outside off stump, hasn't made a connection. Gully would have been anticipating it coming down his throat for a minute there. Had Shubham made contact. Quite a big gap between point and cover. Probably what he was aiming for. That's just defended down the pitch again. So difficult to tell what a good score will be today. There have been scores up to around 120, 130 on this ground, but the conditions, as I said, quite difficult for batting. A bit of cloud cover should help the ball to move in the air. That's a nice shot. That's beaten cover. Mid-offs after it. Pulls it back, come back for two. Difficult to get full value for runs on the ground here. The grass does get a little long out towards the boundary, so it have to be a very well timed shot to reach the boundary. That might encourage some of the batsmen to go the aerial route.
Runs.
3 overs gone, 16 for none. And umpire, Scottish umpire, gives a wide. They've struggled to get their line and lengths right. I don't know how many extras that is so far. See if you can tighten the line up for this delivery. That's nicely played. Just waited ran it off the face of the bat between backward point and third man, and Kuran goes through for a single, brings Shubham back onto strike. These two will be looking to rotate the strike and pounce on any bad balls, any loose deliveries. As I said, 4's quite difficult on this ground due to the length of grass as you get out towards the boundary, which suggests that they'll have to get the majority of the runs in 1s, 2s and 3s, at the moment being helped along considerably by the extras total. Been a splattering of wides and no balls in every over so far. It's a half shout for LBW, but well forward and probably a thick edge onto the pad. Some wide balls, it just goes past outside leg at about hip height. That's another wide, similar to the previous delivery, and if he keeps this line up, we're going to have to move one of the slips from the offside to leg slip. Quite the tropical weather everyone was hoping for today. Overcast, light breeze coming in from the sea. That's a better line, just brings the batsman forward and just plays it defensively down the pitch. Just to introduce myself, Tim Brooks from England, cricket writer, commentator, ambassador for this tournament. Been commentating earlier in the week from Spianada Square, but we've moved over to the Marina Ground for these semi-finals. We're getting into the business end of this tournament. Joburg looking to retain their trophy. They'll be playing this afternoon at this ground. One of these two will be looking to secure their place in the final, which will be played tomorrow afternoon.
Oh, how many you want?
No, that's all right. Played out to mid-wicket, no run there. I think it's quite clear that these two Montessori openers are looking to build and accumulate rather than get off to a flyer. Haven't seen any adventurous shots yet. Haven't chosen to go the airborne route. That's nicely played, just opened to face, gets it past slip. Think about coming back for two. Yep, he's called for it. That's good running. That was just nicely played. Just waited for the ball to get close to him as it was under his eyes. Just rolled the wrist to get the angle, to get it between point and slip, and came back for 2 runs. So a technically accomplished shot by Shubham. And because of the amount of extras being conceded by Jain at this point, there isn't really any pressure on the batsman to take any risks or be overly aggressive. Bowling change here. Gidish. See if he can have any more luck. They really will be desperate to get this break this opening partnership. We'll see if they do that. We'll see some jubilant scenes out there. High fives, pats on backs. So we've still got 2 slips in place. It's outside off, but deemed a legal delivery by the umpire. Full length delivery, just defended out under his nose by Curran. Have a little look at the interval about where these boats have come from that are docked in the marina. A popular thing to do in Greece, of course, island hopping. That's cross-body shot's been given a no ball as well. Gone out towards the boundaries, crossed the rope. So 4 runs. Was well played by Curran there. Ball got a bit high on him, but he controlled it well, rolled his wrists, and just thumped it past square leg umpire. That's a good comeback from the bowler, Gidish. Just short of a good length. Got the batsman fencing at it. The slips will be concentrating, hoping it hits the edge. Snapple any chances. Played that through the slip cordon. Picked up by third man, just take a single. Quite a crabby in his stance, Curran. Just looks to crouch over the ball and open the blade. Can be a risky shot when there's slips in the vicinity, but controlled that one well. Gidish again. That's just a little bit leg sidey, and indeed given wide by the South African umpire. Just looked to flick that off his pads, but didn't make contact. 23 for none in the 5th over. Good start. Tactical advice being given by the scorers. It's a joke. Gidish in again. That's gone. That's been caught. Went for the cover drive, came off the outside edge, and well caught. And they did need that breakthrough. And that's the tall opener Shubham, who has gone to Gidish, and the first wicket down. Jane take their first victim. I think just looking to play that one through the covers, but struck the outside edge and was well caught at point.
Gurmeet Singh Sehan.
How do you spell it?
Gurmeet Singh Sehan. Yes,
Gurmeet, okay. New batsman Gurmeet. comes in to join Shabam. After that first breakthrough for Jain, just eyes lit up when he saw the width on offer. Always a risk when you're not to the pitch of delivery, playing driving on the up. Any lateral movement at all, you've got a chance of getting a thick edge, and that's what happened on that occasion. Good safe catch.
All the best. Take care, huh? Good boy. See
You're
you.
off, yeah? Okay.
I'll see you to the town.
That's been given. Just a little tickle through to the keeper. And after a good opening stand, both openers fall in the space of 2 deliveries. So Shubham caught behind, and Jain claim their second wicket. The score at 30 for 2 off the beginning of the 6th over.
Gurmeet Singh Sian. Gurmeet. Yeah, captain.
So the new batsman is Pawan, comes in to join Gurmeet after the fall of the openers in consecutive deliveries. Positive start. Transfers his weight onto the front foot and defends. So scoreboard looking a bit different now after that. After those 2 wickets, good to see the pendulum swinging in cricket matches, and that's what was happening there after a positive start. Bowling team, Jain struggling to find their lines and lengths, conceding quite a few wides and no balls, and then suddenly 2 wickets and all the fielders are on their toes, and a little bit of pressure switches onto the Montessori school. Montessori school is in the Guinness Book of World Records for being the largest school on a single campus, 48,000 students in the north of India, and have their own cricket stadium. Actually hosting their own international schools tournament in December in Lucknow. So we'll have teams from both India and across the world. It's played out to the man just in front of point. So wide down the leg side, batsman trying to help it around the corner, didn't catch up with it. Busy time for Greek cricket at the moment. the national team were training back at Masongi for European Division 3, which will be held in La Manga, Spain, late in May. That could be out, just stopped on him a bit, played out, caught at mid-wicket, and the batsman is stationary. Been told to go by the umpire. And 3 wickets in the blink of an eye. Just looked to turn it on the leg side, but the ball just held up and produced the catch. So Jane very much settled into their rhythm now after an unsteady start. They are taking wickets at regular intervals. Leave the new batsman. Fall of that third wicket. Behind us in the commentary position is a rather pleasant looking croquet lawn. So, popular place for sport down at the marina here in Corfu. It's a flashing square cut. Well, it would have been had he made contact. More circumspect shot this time, just defending it down the pitch. Six overs gone, 32 for 3. As you were saying, positive start by Montessori, which was helped by quite a few extras from Jane, but they've settled into their rhythm now and have now got 3 wickets in no time at all. Put pressure firmly back on the score from Lucknow. Went through quite close to the edge, bit of excitement in the slip cordon. See the score on your screens there. Dangerous shot, just reaching for it in front of his front pad. Just for a minute gave a bit of interest to the man close catching there on the onside. Fell way short in the end. So just to recap on the tournament so far, we've had 3 groups, groups A, B and C, comprising of 4 teams each, 6 of those from India, 1 from Bulgaria, 2 from South Africa, 2 from Greece. And in the group stages, these teams playing here earned their right to play in the first semi-final. The winner of this game this morning will go into the final tomorrow, to be played at 3 o'clock at Masongi, and the loser will go into a second semi-final for another chance to reach the final. So you have a slip in place, you have a gully in place. And that's gone. Little edge on that. And it's another wicket down for Lucknow, who are struggling here to consolidate. Bowlers making the most of favourable bowling conditions, a little bit of cloud cover. Picking up those nicks. The wickets have been falling so quickly that the batsmen aren't ready. New batsman Vishal. So Vishal just preparing to take guard. Sorry, he's at the non-striker's end. Strangled LBW shout. The keeper seemed quite confident, but just down for a leg bite, and brings the new man Vishal on to strike. As you can imagine, it's an attacking field with Jain very much in the ascendancy after these clutch of wickets in the last few overs. We have a gully in place, we have a slip in place, point, cover, mid-off, mid-on, mid-wicket. Someone at deep backward square. And third man. So wide down leg side. Bring you some bowling figures at the midway point of this innings. For now, we'll just focus on the action. The bowler just pulled up in his run up there, signalled dead ball. It's a good ball, just all he could do with that was defend it. Bowler picks up, and you can imagine the confidence streaming through these Jain players after those wickets have left. Montezuri in a delicate position at 33 for 4. They really do need this partnership to settle the nerves. It's gone for a big shot there. Big shot out on the leg side, just skewed off the face, and a good effort by the fielder down there. Deep backward square. Another leg side wide. If you do want to contact us, if you're on social media, at Cricket Atlas, it'd be good to hear from you. If you've got any questions about the game, the tournament, Greek cricket generally. Another leg side wide, just struggling in this over to possibly control the movement as it's swinging past the pads. Useful runs though for Montezuri, who have wickets have really slowed down their run rate, as you can imagine. So these extras very useful. It's left. That's a no ball. And a free hit. Just overstepped on the front line, and that's given a free hit. So this could be exciting delivery. Only get out. Can't get out bowled or caught. So got licence to hit through the ball, and we'll see where the batsman looks to target, possibly over mid-wicket. In the end, just comes off the pad, dribbles out on the leg side, no run. This is a long over, this one. How many balls so far in this over? How many has he bowled so far? This over. Two more, but how many bowled? Let me go from there. Yeah. Yes. That's gone, I think. Yeah, that was a very, very strange decision by Montezuri. Yes, no, several times. In the end, went for an extremely risky single and was out by about 4 inches. So the coaches won't be happy with that. Taught very early on, needs to be clear communication. If you're going to go straight away. But unfortunately on that occasion, a lot of indecision mid-pitch. And with wickets flying at quite regular intervals, Montezuri scored did not need that kind of misunderstanding. It's a disappointing wicket to lose. We've got a dog lounging on the outfield, actually. I hadn't seen that. Just he's just behind mid-on. We're trying to 41 for 4 off 8 overs, so 2 overs to go before the interval, at which point we will summarise what's happened so far, including giving you some bowling figures. We're trying to convince a dog to lead the outfield at the moment. It seems quite comfortable where he is. You can see there on your screen one of the volunteers is actually going the wrong way there. It's going the wrong way. We might have a short delay here while K9 12th man is
the dog wants to participate.
Possibly doesn't understand that there's a cricket match going on here.
You don't know the rules.
He's making a bit of a movement now. Chased by one of the volunteers here. One of the member of the women's girls squads, I think. And that's good to see. Good work by the volunteers. And the match now resumes. That could be a wide. It is outside of stump. Sorry, excuse me. I lost track of the wickets in the excitement. It's actually 5 down. So 41 for 5 of 8 overs. And Montessori victims of their own indecision, really, in that last wicket. There was no need to go for that run. Good arm came in from the boundary and found the batsman 2 or 3 inches short. So that's a tentative. It could be a drop. I think that's a drop catch by the keeper. The slips were just about to celebrate, and the keeper is down on his haunches. It's a missed opportunity. Gully has consoled the keeper, but first slip isn't happy at all. Hands on his hips. Look at that from first slip. Not even a word of consolation. So a let off there for Montessori. Can they get to the mid-innings interval without having lost any further wickets? That'll be their objective. It's a strange shot. It's paddled around the corner to fine leg for a single. New batsman just taking his guard. The South African umpire. Just defended under his chin. Rolls out to point. No run. So wide. The keeper went for was hoping the umpire would put his finger up for the wicket for a catch down the leg side, but actually the umpire stretched his arms out and gave a wide. Score moving slowly towards the 50 mark. The problem for Montessori is the wickets column. They've lost 5 already. The sun is threatening to break through the clouds, but not quite. Oh, it's a dangerous shot. Just chasing the ball outside off stump, and you've got a slip and a gully waiting. Fortunately for the batsman, didn't make contact. Played out to point, no run there. And 9 overs gone now in this first semi-final. Jane B versus Montessori School of Lucknow. 44 for 5. 9 overs gone. 1 over until the interval, which will be a short interval due to the delayed start this morning. Some rain around overnight. So we have a bowling change here. New bowler Rashid. Hands his cap to the umpire. No, he doesn't. Just oh, yes, he does now. Just measuring out his run up. Oh, the dog's on the pitch again. Volunteers are trying manfully to shoo our friend off the pitch. Give me a short delay here as our friend, who seems to have a bit of arthritis in the back leg, is hobbling a little bit. Sniffing out the different wildflowers. I think he's been encouraged to leave the ground now. Just defends that first ball. He's found a good line of length straight away there. The new bowler Rashid. Lots of noise from Montezuri. Still, you have 2 slips in place now. And looks like we might get another catcher in position. Short extra cover. Wide ball. Rashid again. Hit that firmly, but straight back to the bowler. It's starting to get a little bit brighter here in the marina. Still a light breeze, you can tell that from the 7 flags opposite us in the commentary position. Greece, Austria, Switzerland, the EU flag, France. Oh, that's through the man at short extra cover, so that's going to allow the single. We have a long on, but we have a mid off, so that's a gap over. Oh, that's nicely played. Just use the pace of the ball. I think about 2. Sends him back wisely. Wisely sends him back. That would have been out by about 6 yards had he gone. And given that crazy run out a few overs ago, the coach will want to see his players react to that and be a bit more responsible in their running. Good to have urgency, but you have to balance the risk with the opportunity, as ever. So we've still got 2 slips in place. We've got a point who's quite close. Defended down the pitch. It's wide outside the off stump. And that's gone. Very tame dismissal. Just waited for the ball and guided it softly into the hands of slip. Almost as if they were practicing before the match. So the 6th wicket down for Montezuri, and drinks have been called because the wicket has gone in the 10th over. So we'll give you quick bowling figures and then we'll take a short break.
10 overs.
So just quick bowling figures. 2 wickets for Rishabh, 2 for Gidish, 1 for Rashid and 1 run out. Leaves them at 49 for 6, and we'll take you can see it on your screen there. Actually, you haven't added the last wicket yet. And we'll take a short break and be back with you at the resumption of the innings. Welcome back. Just seen another wicket after the very short drinks break. And a little bit of sun has broken through the clouds now. It's looking a much more pleasant day after rain showers until about 10:30. Not sure what's going on here in the middle. A bit of a telling each other their life stories. The umpire might have a word in a minute. This is quite a long discussion. So it's going to be difficult at this stage for Montezuri to last the 20 overs into their tail end now. Now have a first slip, a fourth slip and a gully. Attempt at a square cut, didn't make contact. There is a gap if you can get it square or just in front of square, 3 point. But if it slides off the edge, there are 3 men waiting for the catch, and there's also protection in the third man. We don't have any boundary riders in front of square, in fact, which would suggest that the ball might be held back. Just left flowing outside off stump. Rashid returns. He has 2 slips. That's it's just dropped. Good attempt. Good attempt, but just went into the fingertips and came out. It was a strange shot in the circumstances. For 7 after 10. That's a better shot. Doesn't get full value, unfortunately. Just plugs in the ground. A bit uppish, but it was wide of the man at cover. So we have 2 slips, a point, cover, and mid off on the offside. Wide ball. My mistake, this is actually the 12th over. 51 for 7. Tried to play a late cut there. Fine of the man at point, but didn't make any contact. Another slip in place, so captain really going for on the attack here. 3 slips now, waiting for Rashid. It's defended out to cover. So only 3 fielders on the leg side now. A long on, mid wicket and long leg. But they've largely been spectators, as the action has been in and around the wicket with those edges, a drop catch in the last over. Wide ball as attempted cover drive. Slid past the edge. Rashid again. No pressure on him at all really, but he has been conceding some wides. I don't know how he's managed it, but he's managed to get it through the slip cordon. 3 of them waiting, but none of them could grasp that. Could be out though. Umpire says he was in. Took 2 runs there. Just thick edge off an attempted drive and somehow got through the very packed slip cordon. I must have misread the umpire there. I think he has given that one out. Didn't see the finger initially. Did look close to me, and umpire obviously decided it was an inch short perhaps. Monarch. Bowling change. New bowler is Monarch. Eight.
8 wickets.
58 for 8 after 12.
Over.
Just to see what Montezuma can get to here, whether they can try and rally and get to 85-90, put a bit of pressure on Jane. You feel that if these wickets fall soon, should be a comfortable chase for Jane. Again, just missed the connection with the cut shot taken by the keeper. Monarch giving the ball a bit of air. That's gone. It's a quick bit of glove work by the keeper. Attempted sweep shot, but in doing so dragged his back foot out of the crease, and Parv, very brief stay at the wicket, brings Haman to the crease. 1, 2, 3. Jane is the shout from the fielding team, who, with the exception of those first couple of overs, have done well in this game, have been in the ascendancy. It's a shout, a lot of excitement from the bowler, but nothing from the umpire as it hits him on the pad. And it goes past the edge. Well, that has hardly got to the batsman, it was so slow. He still missed it. The end of the 13th over. It's 9 down, isn't it? Yeah, it's 9. Sheaton. New bowler, Sheaton. Well, that's just opened the face and played it through first slip. Didn't go for a run. You wonder whether they might be worth just having a go at some of these balls, because it doesn't look like they're going to last long out there. Big gappers, square leg if you can get it there. Oh, it's gone for a big shot, and it's a good effort actually. It's not going to go for 4 because of the long grass here. They only get a single in the end. That's better from Montessori, at least a bit of intent. Well fielded by the bowler. Dives across to cut off her. Trying to score a few runs, this batsman. Got a man on the drive now. Short on the onside. Looking for that chipped shot. 14 gone. Just a single off that over. Oh, he's gone for that. He went for a big shot down the ground, but one bounce fielded by mid-off. Plays that one out to cover. Initially looked to direct hit, but he was just home after a bit of indecision as he played it between point and cover. Bowler doing up the batsman's shoelaces there, you can see on your screen. Attempted to cut but didn't make contact. Same again, this time given a wide. That one's come off the edge. Didn't fall to one of the slips. Much to the disappointment of the bowler.
Went out here.
16 gone.
Score though. 61.
61 for 9 of 16. See if this last wicket pair can bat their full allocation, 20 overs. And if they can they get this score up around the 75-80 mark to give their bowlers something to aim at? So Misfield at mid-wicket, come back for 2 to hurry up here. That must have been close, but in the umpire's opinion, just made his ground.
Gojo.
Played to point, no run.
Dog come again.
Dog's on the pitch again, but at the moment the umpire, one of the volunteers is going to go round to the leg side, bribe him off the pitch with a biscuit perhaps. Well, that could well be out. It's just a very gentle top edge taken by the keeper, and that wraps up the innings in the 17th over with Montessori, after a couple of good early overs, losing wickets quite regularly, and in truth this score would be a lot lower were it not for the amount of extras conceded by Jane. But as it is, the Montezuri have only made
Score for that score. 63 score.
63 all out in the 17th over. Jane can be happy with that. We'll be confident about chasing this down when their innings begins shortly. For now, we'll take a quick break. Okay, welcome back for the Jane chase. Chasing down 64 to beat Montezuri and claim their place in tomorrow's final. They'll be confident of getting that, and Montezuri will have to bowl and field very well to restrict this talented Jane team to what was a modest score of 63. Delighted to be joined on commentary here by Wayne, who's from the Joburg School, who'll be playing the second semi-final later this afternoon. Good afternoon.
Afternoon, Sam. How are you?
Very well, thanks. What do you make of this game so far? Possibly didn't get a very challenging first inning score. It's going to be difficult to defend.
Yeah, well, it's a very modest total, 63 in a T20 game. It's very easy for the Jane team to chase down, as they've been the best batting team so far in the tournament.
And that's a good shot we've seen there. That's a good cover drive. It's difficult to score a 4 on this ground, and it's proved to be the case there. That would have been a 4 on most grounds, but the grass just gets slightly long before the boundary there. But nice looking shot.
Yeah.
Yeah, good powerful shot. That's the best shot you've seen today. We saw some quite adventurous captaincy, 3 slips at one point.
Yeah.
Obviously you can do that when you have a team 8 down in the 13th over.
Yeah, well, Joburg Cricket Club did it last year because they were 9 down at team for 11. So, yeah.
Good to see that though. Young captains thinking about where best to place the fielders. Another attempted booming drive, but missed out this time, went straight through to the keeper. So if you were to estimate when Jane might overhaul this total, what sort of over do you think? Do you think they'll go for it in a rush or take their time and take 13, 14 overs?
Well, looking at their previous game so far, they've batted really quickly. So, yeah, I'd expect them to get the total very early on.
Certainly, as you can see there, he came out of his crease and went for a big shot, probably over mid-off. So it might be interesting captaincy here to drop either mid-off or mid-on back and leave one open. But we'll see what Montezuri do. A lot of encouragement from the fielders, as you'd expect. There is a place in the final at stake. Bowler just loses his footing there and the umpire signals dead ball. The umpire, a friend of yours?
Yeah, well, he's a very good friend of mine. He's actually have the same surname.
Right.
Yeah, so usually I call him my brother.
Right, he's actually got hold of one this time, and that stopped. Fielder disappointed with himself for not hitting the stumps. I think it's clear from Jane here that they want to stamp their authority on this game and get a flurry of boundaries and wrap it up as quickly as possible.
It's very interesting, but then I think it might be risky because they might just lose early wickets and give Montezuri a chance to win the game.
I guess if you're only chasing 63, you could say, well, maybe 2 wickets could go down and then play a bit more orthodox when the 4 and 5 come in or the 3 and 4 come in. But we'll see. Will also be interesting to see how Montezuri played this. Will they look to take pace off the ball and play spinners and make the batsmen generate their own power, or will they look to utilise the
It's interesting to see the tactics, especially when they lose a wicket.
Yeah, I think it's one of the key thing in junior cricket or youth cricket is the ability to recover from the fall of a wicket to build another partnership up. It's one of the skills that
most junior teams don't have.
Exactly, something that the coaches probably look to work on. It's outside off and given as a wide. Did see quite a few extras in that first innings. I'm not sure whether that was a result of not being able to control the movement of the ball under the cloud cover, or perhaps being a bit unsure of the footing on the slightly damp conditions out there.
I'm thinking it's probably the ball because, there was rain last night, so the grass is wet, so when the ball hits the ground it's wet and it's hard for the bowler to control.
Oh, he's got a thick edge on that might go out towards the boundary. Oh, that's a wonderful attempt by the
Another
fielder. 10 out of 10 for effort. 0 out of 10 for result, unfortunately. You're just probably looking to hit that maybe over extra cover, but got a thick edge. You flash that hard, you tend to get it over a slip cordon.
Yeah. Anyway, runs around.
That's your belief, is it?
Yeah.
I like my runs to be nicely scored.
But when it comes on in the scorecard, it's not going to be written. It's an edge.
That's true. But it's obviously being recorded, so we'll know how they got them. Another wide, both teams struggling a little bit early in their spells. Good exercise for the umpires anyway, a bit of a workout, giving all these wides and no balls.
Yeah, it is. Get another hook.
Gone for an almighty shot, that might have been heading our way, Wayne, but had he made contact? Lots of chat from the Montezuri.
Well, the morale will be up because of all the extraordinary shots we're seeing. Yeah?
Well, helmet came on, but it's been sent off again by the umpire. Maybe after this over we'll talk a bit about your club and their prospects for getting through to the final this afternoon. But for now, we'll concentrate on this. That's a good ball, good line of length, just outside off stump, taken by the keeper. If it was judged on enthusiasm, Montezuri would be lifting the trophy. Very enthusiastic out there. Lots of claps. I guess the coach at half-time probably said to them, you know, we haven't got much on the board here. We're going to have a really good effort to make it through to the final. And good to see that commitment. That's left alone outside off. Might have been too wide indeed. Given us a wide.
Both teams are having the same problem with the wides. And matches proved costly at the end for the both teams.
Vishal, ये तो हार है.
Another wide ball. This could take a while, this over.
Yeah.
So Joburg are playing the second semi-final this afternoon here in Marina.
Yeah, there has been a lot of talk about it in the change rooms. Well, obviously, I've been told not to give a lot of information about it, but then...
Of course.
Yeah,
But just generally confident of... Because you're the defending champions, of course, in this tournament.
yes, we are, and we tend to defend the trophy, but then, we have to look at today's game first.
So it'll be about professional, get through to the final,
Yes, because and we're gonna look
do
at
the
our-
basics right, that kind of thing.
Yes, especially at our batting, because we've batted terribly so far in this tournament. We've bowled pretty well, but then the batting has been a problem, so the club will be looking at the batting.
That's a good delivery. It's just short of driving length. The batsman not sure about whether to go back or forward. Always a good area for a bowler to settle on.
Vishal, last ball है, लपेट ले.
I'll have a mix of viewers here today, Wayne. Those experienced cricket watchers, perhaps back in India, but also maybe some that are quite new to the game. So just looking to explain some of the basic elements of cricket, and also give an impression of this beautiful location we're in today. To our left is the marina. You might be able to see on your screen when the camera pans round the masts of the ships coming from all over Greece and in some cases further afield. And then the cloud is just cloaking the top of the range of hills in the distance. It's a beautiful picture.
That is a beautiful picture, especially when you look straight ahead. There's more of a building and a lot of trees. It's actually a beautiful sight.